Welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. I am Junior Binno, along with my silent and ghostly co-host, Anthony Toma, is not here today.
We're missing you, Anthony.
We are missing him. AT, we are missing you. We do have the wonderful and great friend of mine, Natasha Baccari. She teaches yoga, along with started a new business recently called Crackle, which is, obviously, as you can see, desserts, brownie mostly, and I'm looking to dive into them. So I'm trying to get this interview as fast as we can done.
This box will be filled up all for you by the end of this
Yes, I can't wait.
conversation.
How are you? Great to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Excited.
Let's get into talking about your yoga first. We'll get into some of that stuff, along with what got you to that and what led to all this. So why don't you introduce yourself to everybody and let them know a little bit about you.
All right. So, Natasha.
Yep.
Very happy to be here. So thanks again for having me.
Awesome. You're welcome.
It's a great thing that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
To spread awareness for the Chaldeans and the community. And there are so many people out there doing a lot of great things. So it's wonderful.
Good. Thank you.
A little bit about my story.
Sure.
I guess I'll kind of take you back, like my family, my upbringing, and then that's kind of what led
from one thing to the other.
From one thing to the next.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm an only child, actually.
Okay.
And I have two wonderful parents, Maher and Ruth.
Awesome.
And they played a huge role in my life and who I am today, and really, for better and worse, what got me to exactly where I am.
It's great. Good backup, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know, we all love our families. Yeah. But we go through a lot of shit sometimes, right?
High demand.
You know? That's exactly right.
Yep.
So, and especially, you know, for us in the Chaldean community, I think there's like a lot of pressure put on, you know, what are you going to be?
Expectations.
Yes. And especially you can imagine, like, an only child of Chaldean parents. Yep. My mom's very Americanized. You know, my mom came here when she was 7 years old. Okay. Both my parents were born in Baghdad.
Okay. So you'd still be first generation?
I'm first generation,
awesome. Okay.
Yes, Chaldean American. Yep. And my mom came here when she was young. My dad kind of went around from Iraq to Europe a little bit. Yeah. Worked for the BBC in London, spent some time in Scotland, then came here when he was in his 20s.
Awesome.
So, yeah, but you can imagine an only child of two Chaldean parents. And my mom always worked growing up. She was actually a retail buyer for Hudson's back in the day when their buying departments were here. And then do you remember Crowley's?
Of course I do.
Yeah,
yes,
Tel 12,
I do.
good old Tel 12 Mall.
Yep.
So she was a buyer for them as well. So, and my father is a physician.
Okay.
An internal medicine doctor. And so, I mean, I had great examples.
Yeah, and the pressure was mounting because of having those. I mean, your mom doing that. Again, wasn't really common for them to really work. Let's be real. Growing up, we had our moms were our house moms.
Yeah,
you know?
That's absolutely right. So, and for me, it was kind of like my grandma raised me. You know, God rest her soul. And
but that's what lets you speak Surat today.
Oh my God, I do.
Right?
I do speak.
Grandma.
كذا Surat.
كل مني ما محكي أمك يبي محكي أمك.
Labby, as much as I had best.
We'll take it though. It's okay. We'll take it. Yeah, I had that and I had Arabic instilled in me before English. So
see, you know what? That's the thing that I'm missing is the Arabic.
Today everything is missing on both sides.
I know. It really is a dying language and it's sad.
Yes.
So I think بعدين we'll talk more.
Yes. Hatten we can keep it going.
Exactly. So anyways, so
were you pressured then, like schooling wise and what to become and all that?
Well, that's exactly right.
Okay.
So basically, growing up, I always was more of the creative type of person. Yep. Like writing came natural to me. Just anything in the creative realm was easier for me. I was not a good student in math, science. Right. It's either like, you know what, you got it or you don't got it. That's all it is.
Yes.
my brain doesn't work that way, right?
Yep.
So anyways, okay, so I'm growing up now. I'm in the, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever. Yep. And you keep hearing, like from my dad, whispers in my ear, like,
yep.
you're going to be a doctor when you grow up. You're going to be a doctor.
I heard all that, yep.
Okay. So, which again, I think I get it where our parents are coming from.
Yeah, they want the best, right?
They want the best for us.
Nothing wrong with that. But again, somebody said on an interview in our past, which was great, Dominic Huza said, we're taught two things in life. Him. Yeah, he said we're taught two things. We're either taught to do it the way we think we're supposed to do it, and then there's the other option where you took it on and went the way you felt like you should do it. So it sucks because growing up, especially as Chaldeans, we went more that other direction of what we felt like they wanted us to do.
Of course, because you want to, what do you want to do more in life than to make your parents happy?
Yep.
That's literally
because when they're on our bad side, hell.
You're in
Girl,
trouble, man.
Forget the nada. It goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad I never got one of those.
I had a few.
One time ever in my whole life, my mom spanked me, and I started laughing, and she looked at me, and she started laughing, and that was
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
But anyway, you want to make them happy.
Yep. And school was the biggest thing for them. Yes. You had to do school. Because they didn't want us to do that party store route. No. They didn't want us to do the gas stations, all that stuff.
Listen, even for my mom, even though my mom was a buyer and she was very successful at what she did, and she worked her way from the bottom up. Yep. Like, she started here, and but she didn't go to school past high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though she never pushed me, of course she wanted me to go to college and all that. But but anyway, so all right, so there's my dad kind of chirp, chirp, chirp in my ear. And so I go to high school. And by the way, I grew up in Southfield. I grew up at 13 in Lasser. Okay. I went to St. Regis for K through 8.
There you go.
I went to Marion for high school. Yep. So, but yeah, so then I get to high school, and, it's like, again, I'm going through the motions of, all right.
What do I become? What do I do?
Yeah. Yep. But the whole time in the back of my head, right, it's like, well, I know my dad wants me to do this.
Of course.
So I'm not really thinking of, well, I'm taking this art class. Yeah. Or maybe I should join the drama club or the debate team because I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to study pre-med and be a doctor. Yep. So now I'm not only following that, but I'm not following what is already inside of me. Yep. Right? What my natural abilities are. Mm-hmm. So I graduate from Marion, and I went to Eastern for 2 years, and then I switched to Oakland. Yep. And the whole time I'm on this path, right? Pre-med. So I'm taking these classes. Yep. And it's okay, well, all right, you passed Bio 101. Now you're going to do chem, you're going to do organic chem, you're going to do genetics. So I'm taking these classes, and I'm and I'm not the kind of kid who ever went home, sat down, studied. I mean, I was out with my friends, I'm hanging out, we're partying, whatever.
Let's be real. It was different. Our parents weren't like how the parents these days, they're behind the homework. They're not there. They were there to say, do it. Yeah. But they weren't there to say, hey, we're going to help you do it. Let's be a part. Exactly. It was different. So.
Exactly. And especially me, I go home to my grandma, right? Yes. She's like, Khala, do your homework. Me with Biwada watching TV.
Mind you, she had the Rizza Maraka ready. She already did all the laundry and everything ready to go.
4 p.m. Man, we would wake up to go get on the bus 7:15, 7:30, and the Tahratha are already like this. Yep. Now it takes 4 of us 3 hours, and we have a little pile.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God, it's nuts. But anyways, so there wasn't really anybody there sitting over me saying,
push to do this, push to do that.
Yep. So I'm whatever, doing my thing. So, cut to, I'm at the end of basically my college education. Mm-hmm. I take all the classes. Somehow, by a miracle, I pass, Yep. And not with flying colors by any means, but I pass. So I take the MCAT. I take it once. I take it twice. All right, now finally I get a score good enough. Okay.
Yep.
So I apply. I get into a school in the Caribbean. This was when I was 29 years old.
Yep.
Okay. So 7 years ago.
Yep.
And I remember, I will never forget it for the rest of my life. I get the email,
yes,
like saying you're accepted, congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is a school in the Caribbean.
Yes.
This is a girl you're talking to who's never lived away from home.
Yep.
Never been away for more than probably a week, to go on like spring break.
It was not like that for us, really. We grew up.
It wasn't.
Yep. So you got a little cold feet.
Oh my God. I was like, so I remember, and I'm reading the letter, and it should be like the greatest moment of your life, right? You worked all this time. You worked so hard to get to this place.
Yep.
And I just started bawling, crying.
Because not what you wanted to do.
Oh my God. And I was for 2 weeks.
Yep.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
Right? What am I going to do?
Yeah, because reality's sitting in front of you. You got to make a choice. And it's either do I please mom and dad or do I break their heart right now?
And also you're like, what is going on inside? You're making up all these excuses of like, well, how am I going to do laundry? Like, what if the power goes out? I mean, like you're talking about this little tiny island in the Caribbean somewhere.
Yep.
You don't know. Every day, are you going to have running water? Are you going to have power?
Like, and then we go crazy when it's like 2 days worth of power out of our house.
Exactly.
Like, where do we get water from? How do we eat?
Exactly. And I'm like, how am I going to call home? When am I going to see my mom again? Like, so I'm like, every day. I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm talking to my mom and I'm talking to my friends. And and my mom said a million times, like, you do not need to do this. Like, you don't want to go, don't go.
Sure.
And I'm like, well, like, everything I've done has been to get to this point. So, like, what do I just give up, basically? I didn't know what to do. And she's like, well, listen, let me tell you something. You're not going anywhere the way that you are in this condition that you're in right now.
Yep.
So you need to go talk to somebody.
Yep.
So I'm like,
neutral. You need a neutral person. You can't have
your friends, your family. It
doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
They tell you everything you think you'd want to hear when you need to sometimes have what mom used to do us and slap us with a reality check, right?
Yes.
You need that neutral person.
You need, exactly. So I talk to a therapist.
Yep.
So whatever, it was maybe a few times over the course of a couple weeks. And one day, I'm just getting out of the shower.
Yep.
And I sit down on my bed, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, start crying again. My mom comes upstairs.
Yep.
She's like, honey, you don't have to go. If you don't want to go, don't go. We don't care. I don't care. Your father doesn't care. He did care. And that was a lot.
Deep down, yes.
Deep down, he cared.
Sure.
And I knew that was a lot of the reason why I kind of maybe pushed myself. And, whatever. I'm not blaming it. There's no blame.
No, but our parents want accomplishments that sometimes we don't want those accomplishments,
Exactly.
Just to talk on this so the viewers understand why you're going to such deep detail. And I'm glad you did this because you're one of our first women to give that full detail of being broken down, challenged in our community. But then you reverse that all around, and that's what I want you to take us into and let us know from the writing to the yoga to this what it took to, and it made you into a woman, right? It made you to the strong woman that you are. And like besides the story you just gave us, show the positive side of what came out of it. That's what I like your story, the viewers to know. So
because you know what, like, there's no person that walks this earth that doesn't go through some shit.
Yeah.
Right?
If you don't ever really get to taste what life is like.
Exactly.
You got to taste the bitter and the sweet to know which one you like.
Exactly.
That's why I like the sweet.
Well, me too.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
That was a good
no
one,
pun
though.
intended.
I like it.
I want to let's talk about like your writing and stuff that you got into.
So let's get to so
you broke it down to the mom and dad?
I break down and I say, listen, I'm not doing it.
Yep.
Literally instant relief.
Okay.
I mean, I can eat again.
You spoke the truth.
I can sleep again. Right, exactly. So so now I'm like,
what do I do?
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
So anyways.
It's in your corner.
Yeah. Okay. And mind you, where do I begin?
Yes.
Because this is all I've ever known.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm like, so I get an opportunity to work selling ads at Clear Channel 955.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a job.
Sure.
Let's do this.
Yep.
So I do it, and after like 2 months, I'm like, I hate this. I mean, I'm not a salesperson, right? I'm like, do you want it for free? I'm like, no. They're like, this is our last like $1,000. I'm like, no, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we feel like it's everything you're being took, and you don't want to take people.
Exactly. And even though if you know you can help, regardless, I didn't have it in me, right?
Yep.
So now I'm like looking for a new job, whatever. What do I do? And in the meantime, I'm in this still kind of like in this broken place where I'm trying to mend myself back together again.
Just curious, were you still doing therapy a little while after? Or
no, just for a little while.
Got clear-headed and then just...
Yeah, once I kind of came to the realization. And now, mind you, I had been practicing yoga already for a few years. Okay.
Yep.
So now I'm like, you know what? I kind of just want to do something all by myself.
Sure.
I've never like lived on my own. I've never experienced anything just by myself.
Yep.
You're always with your friends or your family. I just want to do something for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me do a yoga retreat.
Okay.
So I look it up, and it's like $3,000 to go on this yoga retreat. Wow. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so expensive.
Yeah.
At the same time, I see that Center for Yoga, where I always practice and still do today, they're running a yoga teacher training program.
Okay.
And it's whatever, $3,000, $3,500.
Yeah.
And I'm like to my mom, maybe should I do this instead? Like it's the same price and something that I'll be able to have for the rest of my life. Like maybe one day I'll get married. I wasn't married at the time.
Yep.
Maybe one day I'll get married. I'll have kids, and this is something that I can do, whatever.
Sure.
So I do it. So I do it while I'm working. 12 weeks intensive, 3 days a week. You're there all day. And I never went into it thinking I wanted to even teach, really.
Yep.
I just wanted.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was like, I just kind of want to do it for myself.
Yep.
Which a lot of people do.
Yep.
So I get done, and everybody's like, oh, you have to do feedbacks in order to teach. So they're like, do your feedbacks. I'm like, whatever. I lagged a little bit. Finally, I do them. And meanwhile, I'm still miserable at the sales job I'm at.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm leaving work one day, and I get this call, and it's from the HR at my current place of employment, because I have 3 jobs actually. So
Working woman.
Gotta hustle.
Yes, you do.
So this lady calls me from Human Resource at ESI Group.
Okay.
And she says, hi, I noticed that you have writing on your resume, and also because I had written with my dad a little bit when I worked at his office.
Yep.
We wrote a medical magazine for the public.
Okay.
So I have that on my resume, and then, of course, I have the sales stuff. So, okay. And she says, would you want to come in and interview? We have an opening for a writing position. I'm like, yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. And were you feeling much better at this time? Like now that you're getting your yoga in, but then you're getting this opportunity?
This opportunity.
That's what,
This opportunity was also almost like
your
a bit of a saving
point too?
Yes, almost like a little bit of a saving grace for me, because now it's like at least I'm inching my way towards who I really am.
Good for you.
Who I always was.
Good for you.
Right from the beginning.
Good.
So anyways, I get the job. Great. I start working, and in the meantime, I start teaching yoga.
Yep.
So one of my friends, Shannon, who I did my teacher training with, she was working at Lifetime in Rochester at that time.
Yep.
And she says, I really want you to come teach here. So I'm like, all right.
Good.
And meanwhile, you don't ever really think that you're like, I don't anyway. I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm like a good yoga teacher.
The worth. You sometimes lack in, I hate to say it, why do our generation has that a little bit? Our self-confidence is a little bit lower than what we should have had it. It seems like it's because of the pressure that mounted from what our parents really wanted. And it's like, sometimes when you go through that failure, it leaves that lack of like confidence in you for the next thing.
Yes.
And I've seen that. It always seems like I've just to, not off topic, but I've always had to figure some way to have to partner with somebody or bring somebody with me because I didn't have the confidence just to go do it.
Right?
Yeah, it's like now I know.
Weird.
But today, if I had kids today, always someone says to me, it's different when you have kids. I said, well, I was a kid once, right? Yeah. So I understand what it meant to push me and give me that self-esteem. It's like now I think we know how to give it to that next generation to say.
I think so too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we've evolved as a
big
group,
time.
right?
Yeah, big time.
So anyways, I'm like, all right, let me just like muster all my strength and get up in front of all these people and like go teach. Mm-hmm. So I do. And now I'm like, wow, this is a great combination because I'm using my creativity for not just writing, but for teaching. Yep. And also, like, I have to mention, right, because I don't want to put everything like, my dad pressured me and pushed me because I worked in my dad's office for 10 years. Yeah. And I loved helping people. Yes, I could tell by your energy. Well, I was going to say to you, but like I would never be able to tell that you went through what you went through with the energy you have today. You know what I'm saying? But it makes a difference, though, when you can break that spell and come out of it. Exactly. So there was always a part of me that wanted to help people in which way, I don't know, right? Yep. But that's why you're a bad salesperson. You know that, right? No offense, but literally the worst. No, can I just tell you a funny story? Yeah, of course. The sales? Yeah. All right. So there's this place that I walk into. Yep. It's like a weight loss place. Yep. They're not there anymore. They used to be over on Telegraph. Mm-hmm. So I walk in, and it's kind of like an older couple. Mm-hmm. And a couple, 2-3 visits, and I kind of like sell them on this advertising. And it's going to be like $2,500 every week. Yeah. Okay. So they're like, yeah, we're in. So I go back the last day, right, with my papers, and they're getting ready to sign. Literally right before, I'm not joking, they have the pen in their hand, right? You convinced them not to do it? No, listen to what they say. Listen to what they said to me. So they have the pen in their hand. They're like, we're using like all of our savings to do this. Like if this doesn't work, we're out of business. And I'm like, take the papers. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Don't do the like. Oh my God. I'm sorry for whoever from 955 is listening to the story right now, but that's okay though. That's the truth. Right? That's compassion towards people. Like I can't help it. You can't either, right? The last 5 to 7 years of me being on the sales floor went to shit. Yeah. I couldn't do no more. I just wanted to give it away for free. You were in. I had my cell phone stores for years. Mm-hmm. I was always great at it for a long time. Then near the end, I just let the young guys come in and just let them do this. I would start things, but I know to go further with it, because in my mind, I always felt like the cell phone companies were scammers. They're always killing people on bills, killing people on fees and stuff like that. So it's like after a while, I was like, here, just listen. Phone's free. If you want it, just I got just take. Yep. And then it turned into, guys, I got a couple lines here if you guys want to take them on. And I know. It's just, but you know what? That's what I always say. Like, there's somebody for every job. Sure. Right? Of course. So we're all, and I always like to say too, as different as we are on the outside, right? You have to remember we're exactly that different on the inside. Mm-hmm. And that's why we can't judge anybody for anything, for their thoughts, their beliefs, their actions. I mean, I always say, like, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt others, and don't let anybody hurt you. My dad taught me that. But as humble as sometimes this cruel world makes you become a little different. And I agree with you. It's hard not to judge. We do it. Listen, we're human, so we do it. It's just human nature to criticize. It's just, we gotta like stop ourselves. Yes. Like even me, I find myself being like, like, why did she do that? Yeah. That's not the best decision for her. And then I'm like, you know what? What do you know? Like, they always say it for a million years because it's true. If you haven't walked a mile in their shoes, you don't know. You don't know. My brother taught me that. You never understand anybody unless you're skin deep. That's exactly
Plain and
right.
simple.
So anyway, so back to
So let's get
Rochester.
Yep,
so lifetime
yep.
Rochester. Okay, so I'm teaching there, great, and now everything, it's good. And then, okay, okay. Then I taught at Lifetime, Lifetime Bloomfield, and now I actually am teaching at Equinox since they opened.
And how long you been there for?
So I've been there for a year, almost. They opened last December, and I've been working there ever since they opened.
You teach full classes and everything?
I teach Wednesday morning 6 a.m. because again I have this full-time writing job.
Yep.
Which I'm so grateful to have.
Yep.
And they're wonderful there. They're so great. I love my bus. Shout out to Rita. Shout out to Amy.
Yeah, give them all, whoever, any friends.
It's true.
Plug them away.
It's so wonderful to work for people that truly understand and respect you. Yes.
With people. We never work for anybody.
I know, it's true. And they don't make me feel like that
End of the day, when I'm selling my service for someone to reimburse me with a paycheck. I don't care what anybody wants to say. Is there a higher management or upper?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm not working for anybody. Nobody's working for me. I always told my staff that, so never feel that way.
No, it's true. It's absolutely the truth. And so, so I work full time there writing. I teach yoga Wednesday mornings at Equinox, 6 a.m. So if you work out there, come
check
and see
out
me.
Tosh.
I know it's early, but
that's
hey,
okay. Yep. And you also now you've been getting into private ones too.
Yes. So
let's talk about
I do
that.
privates here and there. Specifically corporate. So which I think is amazing.
Any clients you can shoot out?
So Fago, shout out to Fago.
Awesome.
5 years strong.
Good for
They've
you.
been offering, and good for them.
Yeah,
They've been offering yoga to their employees.
Why?
Weekly.
What's the benefit? Like, why do you see them come to you?
Oh my God, benefits of yoga, right?
Because I can't do it because of my situation. I've tried every. Mike McCarthy was a good friend of mine. He's huge. Grade school, high school friends. So he tried everything to think of, and it's tough. So I don't know what the benefits, but I've understood by reading what I can by that. So if you want to explain what.
So, okay, it's funny that you should mention that, right? Because
my situation.
You have this situation, right? Let's go back to what is the root of yoga? What is yoga?
Yeah.
Okay. Yoga is, by definition, a connection.
Okay. Yep.
So that could be a connection with another person. That could be a connection with Mother Nature.
Yep.
That could be, and hopefully most importantly, a connection with yourself.
Sure.
What's inside? What's inside of Junior?
I got you.
Right?
Yep.
So when you say, I can't practice yoga, as a matter of fact, that's not true. Because just by you sitting here and you're in a truly engaged
state,
conversation with me, you're not thinking about the next thing that you have to do. You're not thinking about the interview that you did before this. You're right here, right now
connected
with
to
me.
You. Yep.
And guess what? You're practicing yoga.
Okay.
And also at its root, and I tell my students this all the time, because I do tend to teach more like active and physical types of yoga, vinyasa or whatever, hatha, however you want to call it. But I always tell my students, if you want to walk into this room and you want to sit on this mat for 60 minutes and do nothing but close your eyes and breathe, then you are practicing the highest form of yoga that there is to practice. Because that's
meditation,
all it is,
right?
Junior. It's finding the space between each one of our thoughts.
Okay.
It's that short little space in between the thoughts in our mind that we can silence ourselves and that we can go deep and really hear what's inside, right? So all the stuff that I was doing before, the med school, the sale, whatever, I wasn't taking time out to be quiet in here to hear what's in here.
Because one can't be silenced.
One cannot be silenced.
It's just I read from the stuff that you submitted, but it's true. You can
fight it and fight it. What's in here, it will never.
You can heal the soul, but can't silence the mind. And between the two, you gotta be finding your balance.
The balance.
So your yoga is what got yourself and others to be balanced out with daily life, really.
Yeah, and it just helps you to create this awareness about yourself, about your hopes and dreams and wants and desires. And every little bit of that gets you to where you're meant to be, right?
Sure.
Life is nothing more but a series of stepping stones.
Of course.
Okay, right?
Yep.
Sometimes the stones lead you up.
Yep.
Sometimes the stones
downhill.
lead you down.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those stones put together get you to where you were meant to be.
Yep.
And guess what? That's not up to us.
Yeah. No, he's got a plan for us. That's definite. But you had your own traumatic experience in a way. You may not look at it. Some may not look at it. Some may say, you know what? Oh, it was just her squabbling with herself about college and her career. But really, it's traumatic what you faced in a way. You went through it, and when you feel at some point in time that there's a letdown somewhere, especially when it's like a family member, it's like, shit, they just invested all this and we went through all this together, and it's like, I went left instead of going, right or straight. Yeah. So it is a little traumatic, and it was great for you and brave of you to go through that and tell mom and dad, listen, I'm going a different route. And kick ass for you going into 3 different businesses. So you do writing, which is great, 9 to 5. You do this yoga class and training along with private.
Yeah.
And then now you have this kick-ass new business that you're getting into. Yeah, you know what? I was happy to actually see you online. That's where I found you and started. You're so like, wait, what is this guy sending me? Like, what? It was so funny
because right when you messaged me, because you messaged about the farmer's market, right? And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Whatever, I'll totally do this. But then I'm thinking on the other side, I'm like, well, fuck, I've been teaching yoga for 5 years now. I didn't care about that. He saw these sweet treats and he couldn't resist, right? So I don't blame you.
I slapped my tongue when I saw the actual. It's great. Listen,
thanks.
This is some beautiful work that you do.
Thank you.
The events that we've been doing, especially in our community, have heightened. We don't do them as what we used to. Before we used to just have that one cake, and the cake is broken down at a wedding, and then everybody.
But that was the best. You got to take the cake home. I remember I would wake up after my mom would go to a wedding Monday morning. Did you bring the cake in the napkin?
It's either the cake that you had with the napkin coming from South Manor, or you got the piece on the table. Yeah. One or the other came home.
It was the best. So, I actually wanted to do that at my wedding, and it didn't happen. But anyways, I digress. So.
Well, let's talk about how you got into this, where it's at today.
Yeah.
The courage that built you to this is your own business, right?
It is.
Tell us the courage about what got you, because let's be real. Yoga is one thing.
Yes.
You're doing it one day a week. You do your privates.
I love it. It will yoga it's embedded in my soul. And it always, every time I step onto my mat, every time I walk into,
you feel free.
I feel free as a bird.
Yep.
Sia, free as a bird. Listen to it. Great song. Shout out to Jamie Craftsman for that one. But so
this is part of your creativity.
This is part of my creativity too.
I saw you.
Right?
You're hands on. You're doing all this,
and it's all me. Yes. And so again, go ahead.
No, I was gonna tell you. Let's talk about some of the stuff, like what got you to get to this.
So and going back to my dad too.
Yep.
One thing that he did teach me my whole life was always, and my mom too. My mom always said, no matter what, always be able to take care of yourself.
Yep.
Right?
No
matter what.
Yes.
And my dad always said, whatever you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, not everybody can do it, and I'm not doing it right now because I'm working 3 jobs to support myself, my family, whatever. But if you can, be your own boss. If you can, be your own boss.
Yep.
I know it's not realistic for all of us. It's not even a desire for all of us.
Sure.
But he ingrained that in me, and yes, one day do I want to be able to do that? Totally. Okay, so that brings us to this, right?
Yes. You're your own boss right here.
Right. So, so one day I'm like, and it's funny that you mentioned the thing about the events and all this. So I'm kind of like, one day, this was like last year, one day out of the blue, I'm like, gosh, all these people are like doing all this stuff. They're like really doing well. They're making money.
Yep.
We're always looking for another way to
course.
hustle, right?
Yes.
Make a buck.
That's instilled in us.
Right. So I'm like, well, if they can do it, like, surely I can do it too. What's stopping me? So I'm like, all right, well, what aren't they doing? I guess nobody's making brownies.
Yep.
I guess I'll do that, right?
Yeah.
So I get online. I'm like researching recipes. All right. So I start baking. And my husband, Brett's like, what are you doing? He's like, I've literally never seen you bake anything in the 5 years that I've known you.
Yep.
My family's like, you're fucking nuts. Like, what do you do? Like, I'm like, okay, haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
It's fine, you know? And so you let that motivate you.
Sure.
You're like, oh.
Fire underneath the ass.
Yes.
Tell me no.
Yes.
Tell me no.
That's me. Every time you tell me no.
I'm there to say yes.
Exactly.
And show you yes.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. And they even said, even with my yoga, they're like, oh, this is another one of your things.
Yeah.
You're gonna drop it in a month.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Good.
5-6 years later. So anyways, I start baking.
Yep.
And little by little, God bless my family and friends. They're amazing, and they always support me.
Yep. Shout out some of those friends. We have some common friends,
God.
right? So
Chanel.
That's my girl.
Candace Nature. Actually, Candace Nature just had a baby.
She
today.
did. Awesome.
And I call everybody by their maiden name.
Yep,
That's it. You're not a Koza. You're not a.
No. I'm with you.
And Lindsay. So Candace, Chanel.
Yep.
Dion.
Yep.
And Lindsay Delali.
Yep.
Lindsay and I go back since we're 11, 12. And the other girls I've met along to high school. I mean, but they're my.
Yep. I know most of them, and they're great. You guys have had the same friends for a long time.
And my cousins. Alex and Yasmin.
Every one of them. You know what I'm saying? Those are my sister's best friends. So growing up,
we're like this.
Yep.
So, anyways, so it just kind of like one thing leads to another, 1 order, 2 orders, 10 orders, whatever. And for me, it was never like it's a make or break situation, right? Because I'm doing it in my spare time. So
to see what happens.
Yeah. And so I don't really sleep that much, right? Because I'm like, waking up at,
I'm
waking up at 5:15 to teach yoga. I'm going to work full time. So when the hell am I getting, my mom's like, you need to slow down. You're doing too much. You're too sad. But I'm the kind of person like, you always have to be doing something. Go. I'm like, what am I going to do on my Saturday and Sunday if I'm like not doing this or yoga or whatever? So then Brett says, well, Brian Nature, my cousin's husband, Yasmin's husband. So Brett says, hey, Brian, I noticed you're a sponsor for the farmer's market in Birmingham. Can you help Natasha out, get a booth? He's like, yeah, I think we actually get some as part of our sponsorship package. Great, let's do this. Like, never once did it occur to stupid to say, no, I don't think I
Hit
can
the
make
ground running, girl, and go.
And that's the yoga, right? It's like, if you're not going to take the chances in life, even coming here, right? A lot of people probably say, can't do it, Junior. Can't do it, Anthony. Sorry. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I said that, too, for a split second. I was like, oh, my God, I can't do that. I can't say that. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
What the hell do I have to lose? You have everything to gain.
So I messaged you. I was like, man, you got to get on, girl. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, it's different. You're empowering these younger women, Chaldean girls too, that either one, don't have a direction because their mom and dad didn't do some of this stuff, or two, they don't have the courage for that direction. So like you have not one but 3 different avenues that you're working.
Well,
so
thank you.
Well, thank yourself.
I don't
thank yourself, right?
Pat on the belt. Like we don't give ourselves credit, right?
Because we're thinking it's expected. Because that goes back to the mom and dad. We're supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to only see dad only on Sunday for a few hours and not the rest of the week, right?
Exactly. I know, it's crazy. So anyways, and that was honestly a lot of what even made me do it too. It was just like, listen, what do I have to lose? Nothing. Mm-mm. And if I do it and it sucks and it fails and everybody hates it, like, what did I really lose?
Little time?
That's it. a few hours here and there, some supplies from Costco, a bag of sugar and flour. Like, I have nothing to lose.
Good.
Do it, and you never know where it's going to take you. No. And you know what? Guess what? I don't know what's going to happen with this. No. It's only been 1 year.
Yeah.
And it's one of my 3 jobs. Like,
sure.
I don't know. Tomorrow it might fail.
Well, let's talk on that, and we'll get to some of the things that you've had experienced. But so you don't know, none of us know in business where anything's going to be. First of all, trends change sometimes so fast. It's like we have to either keep up with them. But you are doing it. And from a year ago to a year today, how much more have you expanded? How many more events are you now in? You know, like where have you evolved,
where have you progressed to?
Yep.
So we did 3 of the Birmingham farmers markets, which I do have to say, I am very proud of. Again, my family could not, my mom and my cousin Janine, shout out to Janine. I could not have done, my husband Brett, of course, but you can't do it without them. But I mean, like, you see those little pops sitting there?
Yeah.
I mean, each one of those probably honestly takes, I mean, seriously, 3 to 5 minutes
per one.
Per one,
yeah,
and
per
that's
one.
just from making the everything.
And it takes 3 to 5 seconds to eat it.
Yeah,
it takes 3 to 5 seconds to eat
especially
it.
when you watch the little kids, buy it from the market.
Or if I got the munchies, or if the munchies come.
Well, that's like a whole nother conversation. Those go fast in my house. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, so
you make some of these pops and stuff.
I made for the Birmingham Farmers Market.
Yeah.
I made 275 of those little pops.
Are you kidding me?
I worked 40 hours for one of those farmers markets in a matter of 3 days. I worked my full work week in 3 days, working a full-time job.
Yes.
Like, I took a day off of work, my vacation day, right? Because how else am I going to do it? And I sat home day and night and baked, right?
You're determined.
I was determined. I was like, and I'm like, I have to do it, right? And I'm not going to go there looking like shit. So I have to represent, like, this is me. This is who I am. So anyways, we did that. And really, to be honest with you, we've had a few discussions with a couple of the local markets. I am cottage food, so I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, tell us.
Okay, so cottage food is in Michigan specifically, because there are different laws in every state, but here in Michigan, you can produce a cottage food, which there are specific rules on. Baked goods falls under that. You can do it without doing it in a commercial kitchen.
That's what I was going to ask you. And also, like, don't you have to have your food handlers permits and stuff that you have to get? And
so you don't need
okay.
any permit.
Okay.
You don't need to work out of a commercial kitchen, so you can, like, do it out of your home, which is great because it gives the opportunity to people, small little people like me.
Your startup is easier.
Yeah, which you just have this little dream and you start in your kitchen and you can do it and see where it goes and you can grow from there. So with cottage food, you can't sell online.
Okay.
And you cannot sell through third parties.
Okay, so that means you can't be in a supermarket or grocery stores?
I could if I wanted. I could go into their kitchen or any other commercial kitchen. You can rent them at downtown. They do it.
Are you thinking about that?
So that's like something I'm thinking. But just for me, it's like I do so well kind of like with what I'm doing, just with custom orders and especially with the holidays and stuff.
It's what we consider a family business right now, right? It's a small family-owned.
It's a small family business. It serves me well.
You have quality versus your quantity right now.
That's exactly
You're putting your Natasha touch on it, and they're loving it, which is great.
Thank you.
How did you do at that farmer's market? Was it your first experience?
Oh, my God. It was.
That gave you that push?
Oh, my God, yes. And it was, what I learned, I think the most out of it was, like, you can do it. You can do whatever you set your mind
100%.
to. Like, if you would have told me, Natasha, in order to do the farmer's market, you have to make 275 pops and 250 brownies, and you have to work for 3. I would have been like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Yes,
but then you are in it, and you have no other choice. You're forced to do it, so you do it. It was an amazing experience, a great opportunity that I'm so grateful for. And we learned a lot. We got some great exposure and
experience is the best, right?
Absolutely.
Let's get into now then the stuff that you make and how people reach out to get to Crackle Top. And just some events that you would want to see your stuff into.
Yeah.
And people that you want to give a shout out that have helped you with your stuff. So we've got, what do we got here? Let's talk about
Okay,
this.
so there you've got, you've got the one with the walnuts with the frosting. That's a carrot cake blondie. I know. Oh my God, it's so good. That's actually a newer recipe. You're gonna have to try it before we end the show. But so a blondie is actually a cross between a cookie and a brownie.
Okay.
So the batter's a little bit. Oh my God, it's so good. And then we have our classic, classic brownie, frosted with sprinkles, because like who doesn't love frosting and sprinkles? And then our other bestseller,
This one here.
oh my God, the s'more.
Yes.
Chocolate, graham cracker, marshmallow. Like, does it literally get any better than that? It doesn't.
Do I have to share any of this with anybody
Absolutely
else?
not.
Right.
And maybe that guy right there behind the camera.
Mark, you earned it, Mark.
And the girls at the front.
Yes. All right.
Sharing is caring,
Yes,
Junior.
it is. Yes, it is.
And then over here on this tray, we've got, I just did like a little variety of the pops for you, but we do pops and dipped in milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white caramel, salted caramel, and then we can really top them with anything. So if you check out my Instagram or my Facebook, Crackled Top.
Okay.
And if you check those out, you can see a lot of the other stuff that I've done, and like birthday parties and
just
like
tell
engagement.
That's what I want to say. Like what are some of the stuff that you have actually?
So.
Just like different events,
parties, birthday parties,
perfect.
Some corporate events,
and time wise, so it's because we're running right into we got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and so forth. What kind of lead time do they need to give you, and like, is there besides the lead time, is there like options they ask, like to say like, listen, Natasha, I want my pops with these okay, cool. Okay.
So like, for example, I had a girl reach out to me on Instagram about a month ago and said, I'm throwing a baby shower for my sister in December, and it's a winter white theme, and
cool.
What ideas do you have, right? So I'm like, okay, let me look, let me send you some stuff that I've done, and I said, hey, what about some pop? And you know what? Like, I have what I have, and it's on my website if you want to check it out, crackletop.com.
Cool.
But I'm always, like, expanding, trying different new recipes.
That's what we want.
And
I'll taste test for you if you ever want any taste testers.
Like right down the street from me,
so I can just
pop over.
I might knock when I smell the baking happening, you know? So shout out to Andy, Lawrence, June, all those guys. Do you work with any?
You know what? I currently don't like.
Okay.
Like I said, it's.
Let's get you hooked up with them. We'll talk to them.
It would be great. It's it's hard for me too, though, right? Like I'm doing
to serve.
I'm doing 3 things, but I'm there for you guys.
Yep.
So
cool.
Call me up. But it's wonderful. Like,
that's what I want.
It's so much fun.
That's what I'm saying. I want all of us to have fun. It's not just the pie that we're making. We can make money, but money doesn't go with you. It's like how much fun you had while you're here doing what you did.
And you know what, Junior? That's exactly right. And that kind of brings everything all back together again. At the end of the day, at the end of your life. You're the only one who can answer to that, right? And say, you looked back. Did I live my life for me? And did I do what made me happy or somebody else, right? And so, and this is just a reflection.
This makes you happy.
Yeah, it makes me. I'll never say like, yes, sometimes I'm tired. All right, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm baking. I'm like, oh my God, my back is killing me. My feet are killing me. But it's fun. And
Trust me, I'm with you. Is there anything that we didn't go over that you would like to send off to the viewers? Anything that we may have missed or experience, or anything that you want to let anybody know?
You know what? I mean, I'd love for everybody to check out the website, the Instagram, the Facebook, see what I'm doing, see what it's all about, call and place an order. Oh, you were talking about lead time. So I always just try to hook everybody up. Like, even if you call me maybe a couple days before and you say, so this box you see here, this is typically what I sell, like batches of brownies. So if you call me up, hey, Natasha, I want a batch of frosted sprinkles or s'mores. That's typically what we do.
Cool.
Give me like a few days.
Yep, and they can always find all the base price and whatever it is, all that stuff
on the website.
Reach out to you. And you made it pretty easy.
Check out the website, DM me, to text me, whatever. Good. But honestly, you know what? My message for this whole thing is really just follow your dreams.
Yes.
Like, do what you love. Like you said, don't do it for the money. The money comes. They've always said that. If you love what you're doing, everything will fall into place.
Correct. I agree.
Everything falls into place. And if you're
patience
happy,
too.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and listen, my husband's on the opposite end of the spectrum. He is building up his own law firm. Like, it's hard. Yep. It's hard. And they're
What's the name of the law firm?
Shark Law Offices. If anybody owes you money.
Yep.
Hit them up.
Good.
So, yeah, listen, it's not easy, but if it's in here, it's going to come.
Beautiful.
And like you said, you have to have patience and you have to believe in yourself.
Number one.
Even in the hardest of times.
Yep.
So,
well
but
put.
check out my stuff. Check out my
Crackle.
page.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Crackle
my personal page, you'll see more of the yoga stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I don't have a website for yoga,
that's okay.
but you can follow my personal Instagram or Facebook.
I will have
Natasha
all that.
Baccari.
Yep.
Yeah, and check it all out. And like I said, if you're at Equinox, come check me out there. So, yeah.
One last thing, we always like to end the show with, what does it mean for you to be Chaldean, especially in today's day and age?
Oh my gosh. I think we are so blessed and privileged to call this our heritage and our lineage. I think our community is beyond amazing. I think from when maybe my mom's family came here in the 50s. Yep. And, these men would leave their families in Iraq, like my grandfather did, and come here not knowing the language, maybe, a few bucks in their pocket, and then, look at where we are today. Yep. And I love how we're all like this. I love how family is always number one. Like, my family is everything to me. I don't have brothers and sisters. My cousins, I have just 8 of them, 7 or 8 of them.
We're like this. Any way you look at it, we're all brothers and sisters.
We're all brothers and sisters. We're all family. Yep. It's the most amazing community, and I am truly blessed to call myself Chaldean.
We're awesome. Yeah. It was great to have you.
Thank you so much. It was great being here.
I can't wait to try.
I can't wait for you.
Yeah, I really listen.
Which one are you going to try first?
I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Just it was staring at me. So
taunting you.
Yes, it was. Well, it was awesome having you. Everyone,
Thank you.
Check out Natasha Baccari and any events. She's got you guys covered. Yeah. Till next time. See you later.